Dr. Jordan Peterson is interviewed by Steven Bartlett on his podcast Diary of a CEO. The host, Steven Bartlett, and the interviewee, Dr. Jordan Peterson, start the conversation discussing how men and women in relationships can struggle to communicate and connect on the same level. However, the focus shifts to how people in general struggle in their lives for various reasons. Jordan Peterson is praised by Bartlett for his ability to help people who are struggling by synthesizing and communicating good ideas in a simple way. The importance of starting with small steps and being humble is emphasized, as well as the difficulty of acknowledging how far down one is when struggling. The impact of small commitments is undervalued, claims Peterson, but they can be a crucial starting point for those who feel down and out. Dr. Peterson suggests that making tasks small enough to be achievable is key to success, even if it means starting with something as simple as cleaning one drawer. He shares a story about a client who was struggling with various issues and how they worked together to identify the problem and develop a strategy for improvement. Peterson emphasizes that taking the first step, no matter how small, is crucial in moving forward. Next, the concept of collaborative empiricism is discussed, a behavioral approach for clinicians to work with patients to identify problems and potential solutions. The approach involves joint exploration and voluntary participation from the patient. Peterson also mentions exposure therapy for phobias, where patients are exposed to small but challenging tasks to expand their skills and change their perception of themselves as capable actors in their own lives. He briefly touches on the common condition of agoraphobia, which is more prevalent in women who have had over-dependent relationships with their parents or partners. Bartlett and Dr. Peterson then examine how to confront and overcome fears, using the example of fear of elevators. Breaking down the fear into core fears of painful death and public humiliation, and gradually exposing oneself to the fear in small doses, is suggested by Dr. Peterson. The doctor refers to the role of clinicians in helping people confront their fears, and cautions against trying to solve other people's problems without allowing them to come to their own solutions. The conversation then shifts to the importance of listening in relationships and problem solving. When someone expresses concerns, it is important to listen without assuming that either party knows the problem, suggests Dr. Peterson. By asking questions and seeking clarification, both parties can triangulate to the actual problem and negotiate a solution. The value of humility in listening is highlighted, as demonstrated by podcast host Joe Rogan. Jordan Peterson emphasizes that listening is challenging but crucial for effective communication and problem solving. The importance of active listening is highly emphasized by Peterson and how it can help uncover the root of a problem. He touches on the concept of free association in psychotherapy and how it can be applied to communication in general. The example given is of a person who was unhappy with their job, but after being asked about their happiest time in the company, realized they wanted to be closer to bigger challenges. Progressing to the theme of relationships, Peterson discusses the link between attention and love, and how people's past traumas can affect their current relationships. He suggests that by free associating and discussing these traumas, individuals can develop new conceptual structures and improve their relationships. Peterson refers to a system that a couple came up with to deal with triggers and sulking in their relationship. They agreed that when one partner feels triggered, they should communicate it immediately, instead of staying silent for hours. Here Peterson affirms that it's important to replace nonverbal threat responses with more practical and immediate strategies. He shines a light on the importance of admitting when you're upset and understanding that you may not know why. Making rules and negotiating with each other to deal with overwhelming problems in their relationship is what Peterson advises couples to do. He stresses the importance of listening to one's partner for at least 90 minutes a week to maintain a healthy relationship. Following up, Peterson points out how women may be more sensitive to problems with children due to their closer relationship with them. The need for honesty and trust in a relationship is pointed out, even when it involves revealing difficult truths about oneself stemming from childhood trauma. Here, Peterson also notes that these traumas cannot simply be covered up, but must be addressed and healed. Next, Bartlett and Dr. Peterson talk about the definition of bullying and bully victim behavior, as well as the negative long-term effects on both parties. Ways to address conflicts in relationships are highlighted, such as asking for specific solutions and considering one's own behavior. the importance of being able to defend oneself and communicate effectively is underscored as well. The interview then shifts to discuss the dangers of lying and how, according to Dr. Peterson, it can lead to atrocities and totalitarianism. Peterson shares a personal experience of witnessing people become sick at heart while committing terrible acts due to their loyalty to peers. He mentions how he decided to stop lying and emphasizes the importance of telling the truth at every level of analysis. According to Peterson, honesty can help repair past mistakes and traumas by finding the root cause and choosing a better path forward. This process of truth-seeking should be applied in marriage and other relationships as well. Next, the challenges faced by young people in the 18 to 40 age group are discussed, particularly in negotiating the transition into adulthood and establishing a mature identity. Dr. Peterson argues that current concepts of identity are narrow and self-serving, leading to the rise of arbitrary identity groups based on sexuality or race. Instead, individuals should integrate all aspects of themselves into a unified structure that serves all their spirits harmoniously over time. This process can be facilitated by establishing relationships and learning to love others, which decreases anxiety and negative emotions. The decline of religion is also mentioned as a factor in the current crisis of identity. Related to this crisis, the importance of serving beyond oneself is underscored, starting with family and extending to the community, town, city, state, and country levels. Dr. Peterson defines God as the ultimate level of this hierarchy of identity that should be served most fundamentally. He touches on the idea that focusing too much on oneself can lead to misery, and that responsibility should not be equated with moral worth. According to the doctor, the decline of religion has led to a shift in belief that one's outcomes are determined by their own actions, but there is still a hidden God lurking underneath subjectivity.